is Dr. Gamification, and I'd like to welcome you to my Gamified Immersive Learning Clinic introductory video. Before we go any further, I need you to ask yourself a very important question. Why are you watching this video? What is your motivation for sitting and watching this video? Is it because you want to develop your own learning and development skills? Or do you want to develop the learning and development skills of other people? Maybe you want to solve a learning and development problem. Or is it that you just simply want to be more successful in your learning and development activities? Do you think that gamification can help? Can it make you and give you any kind of improvement in what you do? And finally, is it just simply because you want to learn more about gamification? Now, I'm asking you this question because if you can answer yes to all of these questions, then I'm confident that I can give you a prescription that will help you to achieve all of these objectives. And if the answer is no, then I suggest you stop the video now and you go and do something else that you will enjoy more. Excellent. You're still with me. I think that's very good for you and it's very good for me. It's good for you because the best is yet to come. Now, towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you a very important secret from the video games and entertainment industries that will make an immediate difference to your life, and it will allow you to apply gamification to your own situation. So what can we learn from games? I've shown a couple of examples. We've got golf and we have card games. Doesn't matter what card game it is, whether it's a game you play against yourself like solitaire, or a game maybe you play with other people like whist or poker or any other game. Any card game has the same characteristics. All games have a start and they have a finish. And I want to think about what the objective of games is. Games start by having a goal. There is something that you have and as objective that you want to achieve at the end of the game. Now, rather than think of games as a finish, if you want to play a game over and over again, then you can't really say the game has a finish. It has a result, maybe, playing a game of football or a game of golf. It's the score you've got at the end of the game. It can have an outcome, and that might be a good outcome or it might be a bad outcome. And in the worst case, you could find yourself in a situation where you've got game over. Now, game over is the worst possible outcome, unless, of course, you can play the game again and learn something different. So I prefer not to think of games of having a start and a finish. I prefer to think of games having a start and a destination, an end point. And what's in between the game, I call the game journey. So what is in the game journey that makes games so compulsive and provide us with some learning and development? Well, the first and probably most important thing is that all games have a challenge of some kind. You have to beat this challenge in order to achieve your goal or your objective. Games also have an element of chance or uncertainty. If the result of a game was always a certainty, there would be no point in playing it. So chance and uncertainty are very important. It's also important to have some kind of motivation, and usually the motivation is the goal or the objective that you want to achieve. Now, I want to introduce this concept which you may not be familiar with. Games are always the same, but they're always different. So if you look at a game of golf, it's always the same. It has the same rules. You start at the beginning of the game, you play a number of holes, and then you've got the end of the game. But every time you play that game, it's different. It's different because you've got different conditions, you're playing a different course. And the reason why this is important is that it adds to the chance or uncertainty. So even if you're the best golfer in the world, you cannot be certain that the game, every time you play the game, you're going to win. And it's because the game is the same, but it's also different every time. Games also have choice. You choose to play, you choose what golf club you want, you choose which card you want to play in a particular game. So games have choice, but that choice is important because that choice influences the outcome of the game. And games contain many, many different choices at many different places during the game. And finally, games always have some form of measurement. How do you know whether you've reached your goal? How do you know whether you've been successful? And that measurement provides you with the feedback that tells you whether you've been successful or not. So the other characteristics of games is that they can be addictive. They can be addictive, but they're not necessarily addictive to everybody. Not everybody likes golf, but those people who are passionate about golf will find it an addiction. They'll want to be playing every day. They'll find a way to want to improve their skills and get better at it. Also, they can help you to develop skills and they can influence your behaviours. Now, the skills that you develop in any given game are not necessarily skills that will improve the result of the game or skills that you can apply in your everyday life. But every game will develop a skill of some kind and it will influence behaviour. And finally, good games mean that you can never completely master them. So if we can learn this from games, how do we apply it to a learning journey? Well, a learning journey will have a start and will have a finish. Now, as I said, I like to think of the finish of a game as being a destination, because when you start a game, this is a situation where you are now. So for example, you started watching this video, that is the starting point. You may be happy, you may be sad, you may know everything about gamification, you may know nothing about gamification. I don't know your circumstances, but I do know that you had a starting point at the beginning of watching this video. So the destination is where you finish up. So if you know nothing about gamification, the destination for you, hopefully, will be that you will know something about gamification that you can apply within your life. And in between, we have a journey. Now, with any start point or any destination point in any learning and development activity, you ask the question yourself, is what is in between, is that a game? Is it always a game, or is it something quite different? Well, the way in which you can tell whether this bit in between the start and the destination is a game is to look at what elements are included. And my Gamified Learning Clinic has a number of elements or components I've already shown you. And if I'm going to improve or help you to improve your learning and development activities, you need to have a gamification prescription, and that prescription will always have these components. It will have challenge, it will have uncertainty, it will have some form of motivation, it will be the same every time, but it will also be different every time. It will give you some element of choice, it will give you an influence over the outcome of the learning activity, it will allow you to measure your achievement, and it will provide you with the feedback. So my objective is to inject all of these components into any learning and development activity, including you watching this video. So great journeys, great learning journeys always lead to unexpected destinations. And to kind of re-emphasize the point, I want to share with you a quote by Robert Louis Stevenson in 1881, and he's talking about life's uncertain journey. And what he says is very profound. He says to travel hopefully is a better thing than to arrive, and true success is to labour. So to put it another way, it's not the winning that counts, it's not the success that counts, it's the taking part, it's the labour, it's the journey itself. So now we come to what we call in the entertainment industry or the video games industry, the big reveal. This is the big secret which you can apply in your everyday learning activities, and I guarantee it will make you more successful. So, now that I've shared this very important secret with you, I want to share with you the outcomes of this gamification prescription, as I call it. The first thing is, I can guarantee that it will enhance your learning and development activities, whether it's for yourself or for other people. It will improve your chances of success in any given activity. It's likely to produce unexpected outcomes, and these can not only be very positive, but they can also be negative. But the outcomes will be different to where you're starting from. It will also give you more memorable learning journeys, more memorable experiences. It will help you to develop additional life skills that you can apply not only to learning and development, but many other activities in your life. And it will give you satisfaction from achieving those objectives. The main point is that at the end of this, or any other learning activity that you gamify, your life will be different. So the prescriptions that I have available to offer you, well, the good news is that many of them are completely free of charge. This introductory video is free of charge. You can watch it as many times as you like, and you will get something different every time you watch it, and this is free. And the same is true of my online clinic events, or usually webinars. These events are designed to show you how to gamify your own situation, and they're group activities, so you will be sharing this online event with other people, and it will be completely free of charge. However, there are also some chargeable prescriptions, and these chargeable prescriptions are personalised to your own circumstances, and they can take the form of group workshop, which will be chargeable, and this may be for a specific organisation, or it may be for a group of people who want to learn and develop together and share their skills. Or it could be a one-to-one consultation, so you can come to me with a specific problem, learning development, or an objective that you want to achieve, and I can talk to you and share with you how you can use gamification in that situation. The reason why these prescriptions are chargeable is that the best prescriptions are always personalised, and they are always made up. These prescriptions are made up together. It's not the prescription that I administer to you, it is a prescription that we design and develop together. So, now we reach the point, we're reaching the end of the video now, and again, I want to ask you some more questions. Maybe I'm going to give you more questions than answers, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Have you learned anything about gamification from this video? I've shared my expertise, but are you any wiser? And if you aren't, why aren't you? Is it my fault? Is it the fault of this video? Didn't you understand the things that I'm saying? Or doesn't it apply to your situation? Ask yourself these questions. Could you now gamify one of your activities, whether it's a course that you run, whether it's something that you do every day? Can you make a difference to that activity by injecting some gamification? And what will you learn from that gamification, and how will it develop you? How has this video been gamified? Now, this video has been gamified, but do you know how it's been gamified? And what game elements have I injected into this video to gamify it? So how is this video, it's a video tutorial, how is this video tutorial the same as other videos, but how is it different? It's important to understand how this video tutorial is different from other video tutorials, and that difference is gamification. And did the video achieve its objectives? Now, if you want to learn more, please watch this video again. But next time, share this video with other people and ask them these same questions. It doesn't matter how many times you watch this video, I hope, and I'm fairly confident, that every time you watch it, you will see a different element of gamification, and you will begin to understand how you can apply that to your own situation. So, we have reached the end of the video now, and I'm ready to take part in other activities. I'm ready to see you, discuss your requirements. If you do want more information, I'm showing you the links at the bottom of the screen. There is a web page there which you can look at to access this and in future other videos. And there is also my email address, which you can send an email to me with whatever your question, your problem is, or if you simply just want to be put on our newsletter mailing list, just drop me an email at the address that you see at the end of the screen. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will want to watch it again to see what else you can learn either by yourself, because the next time you watch this video, you won't be at the same starting point as you were when you started watching this video for the first time. You will hopefully have learned something, and you'll begin to look for other things in the video. So watch it again, and my advice is to share that video with other people and ask yourselves all of those questions.